Here are 10 things you can do when you're having a panic attack to help take the edge off a little bit. Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica Borshak. I'm a clinical psychologist in California, and I'm an expert in a type of therapy called acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. I work every day with adults struggling with worry, overwhelm, anxiety, and health concerns. So here are 10 things in no specific order that you can try if you're having a panic attack or any really intense, emotionally distressing moment. So the first thing is a cold sensation. This could be holding an ice cube in your hand. It could be dunking your face in ice cold water or taking a cold shower. Now, it's important to note that we're not doing this to cause the sensation of pain. So you shouldn't be holding ice long enough that it's causing pain or numbness or damaging your skin in any way. All we're doing is we're using a startling sensation, coldness, in order to interrupt a lot of the thought patterns and physical sensations that are showing up during a panic attack so that you have the opportunity to slow down, implement some other skills. Number 2 is focus on other sensations that your body is giving you that aren't associated with the panic attack. So I usually connect this with my hands and my feet, things that are kind of distal or far away from the main anxiety that I'm feeling in my body, which for most people is from, their mouth to their belly button. This might be wiggling your toes, seeing if you're walking around, feeling how your feet touch the ground and then lift up. Imagining, if I were painting the bottom of my foot and I pressed my foot into the ground, what footprint would it leave? Tapping your fingers together and just noticing that moment when your fingers touch. Feeling that very small sensation. What it does while acknowledging the panic sensations, it draws your attention to other things that feel a little bit less threatening to you. It gives panic the chance to run its course and start to settle down. Number 3 along those same lines is just reminding yourself that this will pass soon. Panic attacks, by definition, are a sudden increase in fear, anxiety, a threat, but it also is temporary. Most panic attacks don't last more than a couple of minutes. And if they are lasting for longer than that, it's usually because we're accidentally doing something to maintain that level of panic. So reminding yourself that while you feel trapped in this sensation, while it feels like it's going forever and you're going to die or go crazy or lose control, that this will end. You might feel exhausted and just kind of wrecked afterwards, but it will end. Your body cannot maintain that level of intensity for that long of a period of time. It takes a lot of energy to feel that intensely. So your body's going to want to rest soon. And just be very gentle with your body afterwards. Number 4 is connecting with your 5 senses. So this is taste, touch, smell, things you can hear, and what you can see. Connecting with your environment, looking outside of your body, and really feeling and immersing yourself in the full sensory experience of your environment. Now, the caveat to this is if the environment that you're in is, traumatic, is a crisis in some kind of way, we always want to make sure that you're getting to safety first. And focusing on sensations and experiences that are more benign. So this might be, I got a highlighter right here. It might be looking at the bright color, the way that it's constructed, the different fonts, following those with your eyes. I don't know if it'll zoom in on that. Noticing the way that it feels in your hand. There's like a little bit of a ridge here. Now, this might feel silly while you're doing it because you're feeling such intensity and you're like, oh, look, this feels soft. But the more that we can not just notice, but describe, really feel, take on those senses. And I'm talking about all of your senses. Just please only taste things that are safe for you to taste. The more that we can do that, the more it grounds us in this moment, reminds us that we're safe, that even though this feels like a scary experience, we're not in current danger, and helps us step back into our body in a way that feels a little bit safer. Along those lines, and up next with tip number 5, is noticing areas of tension in your body. When we're experiencing intense emotions, we have a tendency to tense our shoulders and our neck, clench through our jaw. It's one of the reasons why people who have chronic stress or chronic worry and anxiety tend to have headaches a lot, because we're just squeezing everything so tight. We might even do that with our legs and then feel really shaky afterwards. So one of the things that we can do is just practice unclenching those muscles, letting our mouth open and our jaw wiggle to kind of ease tension here, almost feeling like your ears are dropping slightly, like your face is drooping. Breathing in and exhaling and just letting those muscles relax. You might even kind of bring your shoulders up to your ears, roll them back and down, not in like a very forceful motion, but just a resettling of your body. One of the reasons sometimes we feel like we can't take a full breath is because our trunk, in through our core is so tight that our body can't really expand in order to take that full breath. Now you're still getting plenty of oxygen, so you don't have to worry about that, but if you can kind of settle into a position, it makes it a little bit easier for your body to ease into taking those breaths that it needs. Now, number 6 is not for everyone, but if you have been prescribed medication to use as needed in instances of intense panic or fear, this might be a good time to try it. Now, only ever take medication as prescribed. You can talk to your doctor about any concerns, side effects, risks, what to expect. Please consult with your doctor before changing how you take medication. It can be really dangerous. But I view medication as just another tool. If it helps to take a little bit of the edge off so that you can engage in therapy and exposure work, in going back out and reclaiming your life, then that's an important tool. If you're just using it to numb yourself, to escape from what you're feeling, but your life isn't changing, well, we might not be using that tool in a way that's really benefiting you in the long term, but maybe just surviving is the point right now. So medication might not be for everyone, but if it is the right step for you, that also is something that might be helpful. I also have clients sometimes who don't take the medication, but just carry the bottle around with them. And just knowing that that kind of safety net is there, that if things get really bad, they can take the medication, can be really useful and calming for them. I had one client who would take their pill bottle out and just read all the information on it, and that would help to kind of focus their attention on something else and give them the chance to settle down and allow their body to go back into a normal rhythm. Now, number 7 is my personal favorite. It doesn't always work in a panic attack situation, but it can be really useful if you're feeling intense feelings of sadness, anxiety, fear, anger. And that is having a playlist of funny videos, funny pictures, happy music. Oftentimes when we're in one state, we get drawn towards things that keep us in that state. So if we're feeling really angry, we might listen to really angry, intense music. If we're feeling really kind of sad or alone or depressed, we might listen to sad songs, to breakup songs. We might watch really sad, heartbreaking dramas. Well, it doesn't make us feel better necessarily. There's something kind of safe about just surrounding yourself with that sameness. Similarly, if you have something that's really funny or really cute or really happy and upbeat or very calm and slow, if you're in a state of panic, listening to something that's very slow and calming might feel jarring on your system, but that's because how you're feeling doesn't fit with that emotional content of that song or that movie. And so sometimes it can be helpful to focus on something that has the emotional resonance of what you want to be moving towards, because it can help you shift into that space. So for example, there is this picture, and I'll try to put it up here, but there is this picture I saw a couple of years ago of bats hanging upside down. And the person had inverted the photo so that they flipped it upside down. And the tagline was something along the lines of when you flip bats, the photo upside down of them hanging in their cave, it looks like they're in a breakdancing competition. And even just thinking about that photo makes me smile and laugh. It's something really small and really ridiculous, but I have it in my phone saved under favorites, because if I'm feeling really frustrated or just really overwhelmed, or my mind's running down this rabbit hole of all the things that could go wrong and I'm feeling that panic build, I'll sometimes just look at that photo and just start picturing them doing a breakdance competition, and it just makes me laugh. Similarly, you might have accounts that you follow on social media that are just puppies and kittens and cute animals that can help you kind of go aw, and feel safe and comforted in that moment. So it's not always a surefire technique, but it is something that I think is helpful to put in your tool belt. Now, number 8 is Simply reminding yourself that you're safe. When you're having a panic attack, you're having a threat response. There's something in the environment that either triggered that response that feels unsafe, or you've just been under so much stress and overwhelm and just stuff that your body's taken that moment to be like, this is not okay. But regardless of how you got to a panic attack, reminding yourself that you are safe in this moment. That might be looking around and recognizing that you're in a room that you're familiar with. Holding your phone and reminding yourself you can call for help if you need to. Touching maybe the pants or the sweater that you're wearing and feeling the comfort and the coziness of that. Or wrapping a blanket around you or curling up on the couch. But anything that you can connect with to remind yourself that this environment is not the same as whatever stressor or threat triggered the panic attack, and helps you highlight that this environment is a safe one and isn't trying to hurt you. And that kind of leads into number 9, which is phone a friend. There's no shame in asking for help. You don't even necessarily have to tell someone that you're having a panic attack if you're able to talk in a way that doesn't display how distressed you are. Just call a parent, call a friend, call a coworker, someone that you trust, and even just like calling to check in and have them tell you about their day or what's going on in their life. Knowing that there's someone else on the other line helps highlight the fact that you're not alone, that people care about you, that they're there to support you, and offers a little bit of a distraction until this moment passes. And now finally, number 10. Let's lean into your curiosity. Oftentimes when we're experiencing a panic attack, our mind just creates this like overarching label: panic, anxiety, fear. But we don't actually pause and recognize like what is actually happening in our body. And so I would encourage you to approach the sensations that you're experiencing with curiosity, instead of just automatically labeling them as bad or dangerous. So for example, if you feel pressure on your chest, does it feel like a tiny kitten curled up on your chest? Does it feel like a big Garfield level cat? What color is it? How big is it? Picture the shape and size. If you're feeling flushed or just heat sensations, imagine kind of mapping out your body with reds and blues to kind of create a kaleidoscope of where you're feeling heat and where you're feeling kind of more neutral or cool sensations. Almost like those heat sensing goggles. I don't really know how they work, but that's what I kind of picture in my mind. If you're feeling tingling throughout your entire body or shakiness, does it feel like being zapped with electricity? Does it feel like something heavy or like a cloud moving through your body? Trying to describe your sensations in terms of shape, color, density, texture, animation, so how it moves and behaves. It's not going to take away the fear, but all it's doing is it's adding another layer. Yes, my heart racing feels scary, and it sounds like the beats to this type of music, right? We might start drumming along to it. It's just creating space for other types of experiences, other types of explanations and understanding of what you're feeling. And in doing so can help to create a little bit of space between the idea that this is a bad or dangerous sensation and the fact that it's just uncomfortable. And I have a feeling that you can handle things that are uncomfortable. Make sure to let me know in the comments below which ones you've tried, which are your favorite. Are there other ones that I missed and I didn't talk about that you find really helpful? Put those all in the comments below, and if you haven't, make sure to subscribe and share this with anyone you think might find it useful.